Okay, let's others join the class, then we'll start the class, okay? Okay, let's start our class. Everyone join, I guess. Yes. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if it is visible or not, okay? The audio and video is okay or not. Question ready? মই 80টা কৰাইছো পঢ়াই নাই মই নাই পঢ়া ৰাজি হৈ যাব ঠিক আছে খাব লাগে কিন্তু গেছ হ'ব এইবিলাক অলপ তেল আছে ন বহুত তেল আছে পুৰা ৰিফাইন
In this video, we will try to understand how to draw shear force and bending moment diagram in case of simply supported beam carrying uniformly distributed load throughout the span.
A simply supported beam with UDL and one point load in this. Okay, screen is visible. Please respond so that I can continue. Screen is visible or not? Okay, so in this problem we'll discuss your this is a simply supported beam with this UDL, and along with the UDL we have one point load. So let's see the video, then we'll continue with the solution. Okay, I'll discuss the solution later on. First see the value. This is a simply supported beam. Point load is at a 4 meter distance from this A, and UDL over the whole span of 6 meter. Okay,
And a point load as shown over here. Now the total span length is L is equal to 6. In this video, we will try to understand how to draw shear force and bending moment diagram in case of simply supported beam carrying uniformly distributed load throughout the span and a point load as shown over here. Now the total span length is L is equal to 6 meter and a point load of 2 kilonewton is acting at a distance of 4 meter from the left hand support, and there is a UDL of 1.5 kilonewton per meter acting over the entire span length. Now first we will convert this uniformly distributed load into a point load. Now the meaning of 1.5 kilonewton per meter is for 1 meter length the load that is acting is 1.5 kilonewton. Now this total length on which this UDL is acting is 6 meter. So as it is acting on the entire length, we can say that if for 1 meter length the load is 1.5 kilonewton, then for 6 meter length it will be 1.5 into 6, that is 9 kilonewton. And as it is a rectangular distribution, that particular 9 kilonewton load will act at the center. So first we'll convert that uniformly distributed load into a point load of 9 kilonewton acting at a distance of 3 meter, that is half of this particular 6 meter length, that is 3 meter as shown over here. So now we'll find out these reactions Ra and Rb. The first condition of equilibrium is summation of forces in y direction is equal to 0. Upward forces, they are considered as positive, and downward forces, they are considered as negative. So Ra and Rb, they are acting in the upward direction, so they are positive. This 9 kilonewton and this 2 kilonewton load, they are acting in the downward direction, so they are negative. So it is Ra plus Rb is equal to 11 kilonewton. Now we'll take summation of moments is equal to 0, clockwise positive and anti-clockwise negative. Now we'll take moment about this point A. So this Rb, the arrow of this Rb will go in the anti-clockwise direction towards A. So as it is anti-clockwise, it is negative, and from B up to A, the perpendicular distance is 6. So it is minus Rb into 6. This 2 kilonewton, the arrow of this 2 kilonewton is going in the clockwise direction towards A. So it is 2 into 4. Then this 9 kilonewton, it is also producing clockwise moment, and the perpendicular distance from this point up to A is 3. So it is 9 into 3 is equal to 0. Now transfer this negative term, that is minus Rb into 6 on the other side, so it will become 6 Rb. Then 2 into 4, that is 8, plus 9 into 3, that is 27. So total will be 35. So we can say that Rb is equal to 35 divided by 6, that is 5.833 kilonewton. Now substitute this value of Rb in equation 1. So from equation 1 we can say that Ra is nothing but 11 minus Rb. So it is 11 minus 5.8333. So it is 5.167 kilonewton. So these are the values of Ra and Rb. Now we have to draw the shear force diagram. So conventions which we have used for simply supported beam, upward forces, they are considered as positive, whereas downward forces, they are considered as negative. Now we'll start from the left hand support, that is A. So shear force at A is equal to 5.167 kilonewton acting in the upward direction, so it is positive. Now shear force at C left means we are not considering this 2 kilonewton load. We are considering all the other forces which are acting on the left hand side of C. So we'll start with Ra, that is 5.167 positive because it is acting in the upward direction, and the UDL from A up to just left of C, that is 1.5 into 4, that is 6. So that will be minus 0.833 kilonewton. Then shear force exactly at point C will be to this minus 0.833. This 2 kilonewton which is acting in the downward direction will get added. So it is minus 2.8333 kilonewton. Similarly, shear force at left of the B, we have to take into consideration only this particular UDL which is acting between C and B. So it is 1.5 into 2, that will get added to this previous calculated value of minus 2.8333 kilonewton. So it is minus 5.8333 kilonewton. Exactly at B, this point load or reaction up which is acting in the upward direction, that will get added. So it is minus 5.833 plus 5.8333 kilonewton, that is 0 kilonewton. So using these values we can draw the shear force diagram. So shear force at A, shear force at C left, exactly at C, then B left, and then at B. And the various values, they are also shown over here. Now this shear force diagram, it changes the sign from positive to negative at this section, and we have to find out this is the point of zero shear where the bending moment will be maximum. So that point we have to find out. So we'll consider only that particular section. Suppose it is acting at a distance of x from the left hand support A as shown over here. So we have to find out now the point of zero shear. So we'll consider all the forces which are acting on the left hand side of this particular section. So Ra is acting in the upward direction, that is 5.167. Then UDL is acting, UDL of 1.5 kilonewton per meter is acting for x meter length. So it is 1.5 into x. But the shear force at this particular section is 0. So equate this particular left hand side equal to 0. Transfer this negative 1.5 x term on the left hand side, so it will become positive, and x will be equal to 5.167 divided by 1.5, that is 3.444 meter from A. Now at this particular section we'll find out the maximum bending moment also. So first we'll convert this UDL into point load, so 1.5 into x, and it will be acting at the center of x, that is x by 2, so that we can take moment about this section xx, which is maximum bending moment. The conventions used, they are clockwise positive and anti-clockwise negative for the bending moment. So consider all the forces on the left hand side of xx. So RA, which is acting in the upward direction, so it will produce clockwise moment about this xx, so it is 5.167 into x. Now this 1.5 into x, this will produce anti-clockwise moment about xx, so 1.5 into x, and the perpendicular distance is x by 2, so that also we have written over here. Now substitute the value of x is nothing but 3.4444, so that value you can substitute over here. This x into x is x square, as shown over here.
So I'll go back.
So now we'll
Okay.
find out this reaction.
So I'll start with this. In this problem also, you have to first find out the RA and RB. Okay. This is the beam. You have to find out the RA and RB. See, they have converted this kilonewton per meter. This UDL has been converted into. Wait. Civil vote is hangati is pani the parts. Civil negative. So you can also convert this kilonewton. You can convert this UDL into point load. Okay, by multiplying 1.5 into 6. Okay, you can convert this, but if you don't want to convert, then also it will be fine. So in this problem, they have converted this UDL. Okay. At the midspan, okay, they have replaced the UDL. Let me note. Your UDL was let me change the color. So your UDL was 1.5 kilonewton per meter. Okay, and the span is 6 meter. So it will be 1.5 into 6. So it will be 9. Okay, so they have converted this UDL into point load. You can also do that. Okay, for easy to make the question more easy, they have converted this UDL over the whole span into a point load, and see, they have placed this point load over the mid span of the beam. Okay, so what you have to do, if you are converting this UDL, you have to replace that UDL with point load by multiplying the load with the span of the beam, and you have to place that beam over the mid span. So the whole span is 6 meters, so they have placed the point load at 3 meter. Okay, you can do this way, or you can do the conventional way we used to take. Okay, that makes some confusions also, but if you can do like this also. Okay, you can take the you can solve by taking the whole UDL, and or you can convert this UDL into point load. And remember, you have to place this point load at the midspan of the beam only. Okay. So in this problem, they have converted this UDL into point load. Hope no issue from this part. Then see, they place the UDL which has been converted into point load. They have placed at 3 meter distance, which is the midspan of the whole beam. Okay, this UDL was spanning over the whole span, and the whole span was 6 meter. Now they have replaced that UDL with a point load, and they have placed that point load at a distance of 3 meter, which is the midpoint. Okay, this plot is clear, I guess. It's up to you if you want to convert it, if you want to make it easy, so you can do that. So now your problem has become the simply supported beam with 2 point loads. Okay, earlier it was simply supported beam with one UDL and one point load. Now this UDL has been converted into point load, so now your beam has become your So simply supported beam with 2 point loads. Okay, so same way, by taking the three equations of motion of F5, summation of F5 equals to 0, summation of F vertical forces, horizontal force equals to 0, and summation of movement about a point equal to 0, we'll find out the RA and RB. Okay, so this part's RA and RB, these are the upward forces, so negative. So this way, this is the equation 1, RA plus RB equals to 11, 1. Then they have taken the moment about a point as 0. They have taken the moment about up A. Okay, moment about a point A. So that's why this RB is giving anti-clockwise direction. That's why RB into 6 plus this point load 2 into 4 plus this 9 point load into 3. Okay, this way is easy. It makes questions easy. If you take the UDL, you have to take the half of the distance. Okay, so they have found out the RB. So from equation 1, you can find out the value of RA. So they have found out the value of RA as, so you got RA value as 5.169 and RB as 5.833. So after finding out the external forces, what you have to do? You have to find out the shear force and bending moment diagram. So to find out the external forces, they have converted the beam into simply supported beam. Okay. Now to find out the shear force diagram, this will be the same. Now shear force at A, it will be the same, the RA value. Okay. Next, you have to find out, first you have to find out the shear force at A. Next, you have to find out the shear force at the left of C. Okay. So the shear force at the left of C, if you see, so there will be two forces. One force will be this here RA, and another force will be here this UDL. Okay. So why I have taken this UDL? So it will be 1.5 into this distance. Okay. So for when you take the force for UDL, what you do, you multiply the distance, right? To find out the UDL for this from A to C span, you have to multiply 1.5 into 4, because this UDL is spanning over this 4 meter, right? And we are finding the shear force at left of C. So till this distance we have to consider this 4 meter. So 1.5 into 4, it will be 6. Okay, here the RA, it was in kilonewton. Now this load is in kilonewton per meter, and this is the length till where we are finding. That's why I'm multiplying this 1.5 with 4. So I have got 6. So both are in kilonewton. So I got this shear force at C position as minus 0.833 kilonewton. Okay. Now I have to find the shear force at C. Okay, shear force at C. So shear force at C, at shear force at C, I have to consider this 2 kilonewton also. Okay. So this was the shear force at left of C. From that, this is the upward force point load, so that is the minus 2. Okay. Next, we have to find out the shear force at this left of B. So left of B, this load minus this 1.5 into 2. Okay, minus 1.5 into 2, which is 3, minus 3. So this way. Now shear force at B will be the same. This load plus the load over the whole beam plus this load. So it is equals to 0. Any issues from this part? Please let me know if you have any issues from this part. Any issues from this shear force part? Please type in the chat box. Any confusion at any point from this beam? Please let me know. Any issues from this part? Okay, no response. So I think no issues from this part. So from these points, you have to draw a shear force diagram. Okay. So this will be your shear force diagram. This will be your shear force diagram. Now to find out the point of zero shear force means if in question it is asked that find out a position on the beam where your shear force is zero. Okay, so what this is the procedure to find out. So divide the beam into two halves. Let's find out in this position what will be the shear force equation. So from at this position, from the left of the beam, this is the shear force beam. Okay, sorry, this is the shear force equation for this part of the beam. So I'm equating this equations equals to 0 and finding out the distance x where your shear force will be 0. Got it? What I have done, I have divided the beam into two halves and I have found out the shear force equation. What is the shear force equation? It will be this RA minus this load into the distance. I don't know what at what distance my shear force will be 0. So I'm assuming at distance over the whole beam at distance x my shear force is 0. So I'm taking a section at x, not exactly at the midpoint. I'm taking a section over xx over the beam and I'm taking the shear force equation of the whole beam. Okay, from left of C. See, this is the C point. You just take a equation from A to C, take a section of xx and find out the shear force equations for this beam and equate that equation equals to 0 to find and the distance x, this equation that it will give you x value. At that value your shear force will be 0. So at x 3.44 meter from A. Okay, so from this your shear force will be 0. So if you see this the here the shear force is 0 and if you plot this figure graphically you will find out that this distance is your 3.44 meter. Okay, so this is the way to find out the find out how at which part of the beam your shear force will be 0. Any issues from this part? Please type in the chat box. At least respond something. Are you getting this point? Are you getting this problem or not? How will I know that you are able to understand or not? See, the UDL was 1.5. That's why load. What is load? Force into distance. See, UDL, we have UDL 1.5 kilonewton per meter. Right, this is in kilonewton per meter. But what is the value for 5.167? This is 5.167 is in kilonewton. Right, so I have to convert this load into kilonewton. So what I'll do, I'll multiply with x. I'm taking at distance where my shear force is 0. If you go back, let me go back to this equation. See, if you see the CL part, if you see the CL part, what is the shear force equation? Shear force equation was That means I'm taking the shear force at this part, right? So here, this, what will be the shear force equation? RA. RA is 5.167. This is downward direction, so this will be positive. Now this UDL is in, sorry, this is was the upward direction, so it is positive, and this UDL is in downward direction, so it will be negative. What is my load? It is 1.5. As this is in kilonewton per meter, I have to multiply with the distance. So I am taking here distance as 4 meter because I know I am finding out the shear force in this direction. So when I multiply 1.5 with 4, I'll get 6. This is in meter. Let's cancel meter and meter. Now I'll get the force in kilonewton. Got it? I cannot add two different units, right? It is in kilonewton. If I simply 1.5167 minus 1.5, if I do like this, how can I add or subtract this value? Because this is in kilonewton, this is in kilonewton per meter. So I have to convert this kilonewton per meter into kilonewton. So for that, what I will do, I'll multiply with distance in case of UDL. Understood? In case of UDL, we used to multiply the distance with the load so that I get the value in kilonewton. Load is always in kilonewton, right? But in UDL, which says uniformly distributing load, it means 1.5 kilonewton is uniformly distributing over the whole span of the beam. Understood? Now, for to find out where the shear force is zero, find out where the shear force is zero. I'm assuming that at a distance of xx, your shear force is zero. That's why I'm taking this load into a distance of x. So 1.5 x. Okay, understood? Rule number 24 understood? Now you're getting why this is the shear force equation only. Okay. Okay. Good. Any issues from other students for this part? Now you can also find now let's move to the bending moment part. Okay. There also we can find out that where the bending moment is zero. So this is the way to find what you have to do there. You have to equate the bending moment equation of the beam equals to zero, and you will get a distance of x where your bending moment will be zero. Okay. So let's see this part. Okay.
The bending moment. So consider all the forces on the left hand side of x6. So RA, which is acting in the upward direction, so it will produce clockwise moment about this xx. So it is 5.167 into x. Now this 1.5 into x, this will produce anti-clockwise moment about xx. So 1.5 into x, and the perpendicular distance is x by 2. So that also we have written over here. Now substitute the value of x. X is nothing but 3.4444. So that value you can substitute over here. This x into x is x square. So substituting the value of x at these places, we will get the bending moment at section x6 as 8.899 kilonewton meter, and this will be the maximum bending moment over here. Now using these values, we can easily draw the bending moment diagram. So first we'll convert this UDL of 1.5 kilonewton per meter between A and C. The distance is 4, so 1.5 into 4. So that will be the 6 kilonewton load acting at a center of 4 meter, that is 2 meter. Section XX, where the bending moment we have already calculated. So now we'll start with the remaining bending moments. So bending moment at the ends, they are 0. So bending moment at A will be 0. Similarly, bending moment at B will also be 0. So first we'll calculate bending moment at point C. XX we have already calculated, so it is 8.899. Then after this section XS, the point is C. So we'll calculate bending moment at this particular point C. So consider all the forces on the left hand side of C. Except this particular 2 kilonewton, it will not have any moment about C. So RA, upward acting reaction RA will produce clockwise moment. So arrow of this RA will go in the clockwise direction about C. So it is, and the perpendicular distance is 4 meter between A and C. So it is 5.167 into 4. Then this point load, the unit converted into point load, that is 6 kilonewton, will produce anti-clockwise moment about C, and the perpendicular distance is 2. So the bending moment at C comes out to be 8.668 kilonewton meter. Then bending moment at point B will be 0. So using these values, we can easily draw the bending moment diagram. So as you can see over here, the bending moment at the section XX is maximum of 8.899 kilonewton meter. Then at C it is 8.668, and at the ends it is 0. So the beam will get bent in this particular fashion, that is indicated by this bending moment diagram. Thank you very much for watching.
Am I audible? I lost connection. Screen is visible. Screen is visible. I lost connection. Okay, okay, okay. Please mute yourself. Screen is visible. Okay. Okay, I'm ending the meeting. See you in the next class. Okay.